welcome to your reading for November, December, leading to the end of the year. Do listen to your feminine and masculine readings as they represent different aspects of yourself that are coming into integration at this time in order to reach harmony and balance as a crucial aspect of moving forward on your spiritual journey. For those of you that resonates with, I'm assuming if you're listening to this, it does. I've already blessed and shuffled the cards and laid them out, so we can begin. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Strength card. So Gemini masculine are very much at a crucial crossroads, this turning point in their life where they feel that they need to make a decision about how they're going to move forward. And this really is about them feeling that their life up until this point, although they've achieved a lot of success and experienced the material pleasures of that success, they're kind of feeling that there's something more. There's really the seed of awakening that they're going through at the moment, and it's all about bringing down their gifts, their dreams, what they've always wanted to do, what they feel is their purpose here, and bringing that down into the physical realm and expressing that in the work that they do. And sort of branching out and spreading that and sharing that gift with others. And there's really this sense that that is what is driving them at this moment. They're really questioning what is their purpose and feeling that there's something much deeper with regards to the meaning of their life and what they're here to do. There is also part of this journey really is this feeling of having broken through, excuse me, a lot of challenges at this time. Both the feminine and the masculine had this as part of their reading, and I'm feeling this journey is really about being true to oneself, being one's authentic self, and strength coming specifically from the heart rather than the mind. So the Two of Swords are really about your thoughts, clearing your thoughts and being really aware about the words that you use and what you're thinking, and making sure that those thoughts are being expressed with purpose, because you're really creating a new foundation for a new reality that you are trying to break into. And part of this is obviously feeling like you're really fighting with yourself. There's a lot of doubts and fears that are coming up. So the overall message here is really in being proactive about building this new foundation, this foundation for your future, and the need to plan and prepare for that. So in the energy to let go, we have the Queen of Discs. So again, I feel that you already have, the Gemini masculine has already reached this point of mastery of himself in the physical. He's achieved a lot of abundance and success with regards to material things, but this has not necessarily led him to be happy. He's feeling, is that it? Why does it feel like something's still missing? And so this is really about clearing a space in which that future dream can grow within, creating a nurturing environment where that dream can be fulfilled, can be built, and learning to shed things that no longer represent who you really are. And so there's that point again, the fives, of feeling slightly in between. You feel like you've completed a cycle and the new one's not yet begun, and so there's that horrible feeling. I say horrible because how we perceive it in the West, it's like this uncertainty that we feel so uncomfortable within. Although, there are a lot of cultures that celebrate that in-between stage of life. And studying anthropology, I learned this term called liminality, where a lot of cultures actually celebrate that in-between stage of uncertainty, and they recognize that there's a lot of learning and wisdom and insight from just taking a step back, pausing, not needing to be busy the whole time, allowing the next phase to come to you rather than chasing it, just sort of having that patience to allow that clarity and new opportunity and gifts to come in. And so this really involves very much getting out of the mind and going into your heart. As you can see, his truth and his answers lie deep within his heart. That's where his wisdom lies. And coming from the heart obviously requires a lot of vulnerability. There is a lot that's coming up for him at this time around these doubts that have appeared. And there's really a sense of him being more open emotionally to looking at those darker aspects of himself and finding the strength and courage to be vulnerable. And that's really how he's building this new path. He's stepping onto this new path, these new opportunities that are coming his way, this wonderful new beginning, new energy that he's putting his energy into. And it's really saying that he is the magician. The magician in this card is represented by Metatron, and he's handing you Metatron's cube, the Holy Grail. He's literally, Archangel Metatron is gifting you yourself, your divine purpose, your divine gifts. And the Gemini masculine's really understanding now that he needs to bring these down and start taking the actions necessary to start manifesting this dream that he has about his life and about his future into his physical reality. And he has the power to do that at this time, and all the opportunities are around him that are really pushing him, the right people, to be in the right place at the right time. And so his environment is really enabling him to step into that truth and to have hope. And the star, wishes fulfilled. It's really about shining the light on what he wishes to see manifest, feeling that there's hope at the end of this dark tunnel that he's in at present. And the star, yes, it's really about stepping into who you really are, and the healing and rebuilding and renewal process that comes as part of that. And so he's really learning to shed his ego and rebuild himself from scratch, stone by stone, each piece of truth. So as discussed with the Gemini feminine, nature is a series of cycles of creation and destruction, and there's nothing to fear in everything falling apart. It really is a sense of deconstructing, the deconstruction process that comes after you've built something that no longer feels true. It no longer resonates with who you are. And so he's really on that new path, that new beginning to rebuild this vision of himself moving forward in the way that feels more authentic that represents who he is right now, or the vision of himself, of who he is becoming. So for the overall lesson, we have the moon. So this is really him mastering his darkness, looking at his shadow self, learning the lessons that are hidden there, and going deep into memories perhaps from his childhood, and bringing up, shining that light in the darkness, seeing that star that's shining in the moonlight, that is his way forward. That's his guiding star, and that's really the inner guidance that's coming from within, from his intuition, from his heart. And that's really what is driving him at this time. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers to see if there's any other messages that go slightly deeper, and that may make it more relevant for some of you. Take the messages that resonate. Obviously, this is a general reading, but there's always someone that this will be speaking to. And we'll do the bottom of the deck, which is the Page of Swords, Daughter of Air in this deck. So stepping into his new path, which is very much about being his authentic self. And Yes, a lot of new beginnings, new energy. Oh, wow. Very powerful cards. Wow. Yeah, and very much a crossover with the feminine for sure. And 10 of discs. So this is really his destination. This is what he's trying to build. This is the completion of his dream. The 10 of discs, absolute abundance coming in, but this time an abundance that he can resonate with, that represents who he is right now, and breaking out of this burden that he's carrying, this anxiety, this feeling stuck and confused. And it's really a burden that he's putting on himself, that he's not willing to see beyond his mental prison, and that he actually does have the power to take this step onto this new path. And it's really about him speaking his truth, taking action towards his purpose and passion, and doing the things necessary to move forward in this new beginning and break through. We have the Two of Swords again, break through this indecision, this feeling of being stuck. And endurance, Seven of Wands. The battle isn't over yet. You know, he's being urged to keep going, not to give up, to believe in himself. Again, Knight, progression to the movement forward, following this period of feeling stuck. There is this insight, Spiritual Warrior 7, that is the Chariot. There is this insight that he gains when he learns how to balance his darkness and recognize them as these gifts that are part of who he is, part of his purpose, part of his wisdom. And from that integration of these two aspects of himself, from the integration of his vulnerable side, his feminine side, together with his masculine side, there's this sense of him moving forward and taking action, quite swift action, to cut out anything that doesn't feel true to him anymore. And he does this successfully. And Queen of Swords, we have these counterparts here as well. If you see the reflection of the, I'm pretty sure the Gemini, I think the Gemini feminine reading had Queen of Swords. That would be interesting, but we definitely have the Page of Swords here, and the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So there's a real sense of growth and progression here with regards to this new spiritual truth, this foundation, this new life, this new authentic self that he is building at the moment. And that's how he's going to break through the anxiety, Ace of Swords again. He's going to break through this feeling of confusion and anxiety by being true to himself. And that's really when this Tower moment happens. And, you know, potentially this is connected to something that is hidden and repressed within himself, some memories from his childhood around some sort of paternal masculine figure in his life, and the healing that needs to happen around that, and this shedding of beliefs that are connected to perhaps who his father always expected him to be, or something related to some sort of father wound that was preventing him from fully stepping into the power of who he is, which he is now ready to do. He is now ready to become the emperor, the absolute culmination of the path of the Ace of Discs. This is Gemini masculine in his full potential, and it really is about breaking through everything that has been holding him back, facing his shadow and having the courage to do that, and stepping into this beautiful new energy, this beautiful new beginning. Incredible reading. Gemini, feminine and masculine are very aligned, as seems to be happening with most of the readings. It's actually been very interesting. It seems to be like a similar message, but playing out in a slightly different way. Very fascinating to do both masculine and feminine energies in this way. So basically the card that we're going to choose that wants to come out for you as the overall guidance is the Lovers. Beautiful integration that happens as a result of this journey that you're on, this path of truth and integration. Let's see what the message is from Osho. I will read it directly from the book. So number 6, Lovers. These three things are to be taken note of. The lowest love is sex, physical, and the highest refinement of love is compassion. Sex is below love, compassion is above love. Love is exactly in the middle. Very few people know what love is. 99% of people unfortunately think sexuality is love, but it is not. Sexuality is very animal. It certainly has the potential of growing into love, but it is not actual love, only a potential. If you become aware and alert, meditative, then sex can be transformed into love. And if your meditation becomes total and absolute, love can be transformed into compassion. Sex is the seed, love is the flower, compassion is the fragrance. Buddha defined compassion as love plus meditation. When your love is not just a desire for the other or a need, when it's a sharing, that not of a beggar but of an emperor, when your love is not asking for something in return but is ready only to give for the sheer joy of giving, then add meditation to it and the pure fragrance is released. That is compassion, the highest phenomenon. What we call love is really a whole spectrum of relating, reaching from the earth to the sky. At the most earthly level, love is sexual attraction. Many of us remain stuck there because of our conditioning, which has burdened our sexuality with all kinds of expectation and repression. Actually, the biggest problem with sexual love is that it never lasts. Only if we accept this fact can we really celebrate it for what it is, welcome its happening, and say goodbye with gratitude when it's not. Then as we mature, we can begin to experience the love that exists beyond sexuality and honors the unique individuality of the other. We begin to understand that our partner often functions as a mirror, reflecting unseen aspects of our deeper self and supporting us to become whole. This love is based in freedom, not expectation or need. Its wings take us higher and higher towards the universal love that experiences all as one. Beautiful transformation, Geminis, and he's really stepping into this place of unconditional love, and this really is going to come as a result of this breakthrough, this understanding of his childhood wounds and breaking through to a place of loving himself and shining a light on aspects of himself that were hidden, potentially unhealthy codependent patterns in his relationships where the balance of giving and receiving wasn't equal. It was based in need. It wasn't built on a strong foundation. So there's really this balance now that is really the path that he's seeking and stepping onto with the Ace of Discs to the Ten of Discs. There's this journey that he's moving towards of abundance that's very much based in his truth, in his true authentic self. And that's really for him about expressing love in this very pure, unconditional way and questioning now how he can share his heart with others and viewing relationships in this new way. And as a result, attracting that mirror, attracting that union with himself and with his counterpart, his divine equal. Beautiful Gemini, and I wish you much love, and until the next time.